Cup of English podcast for Paul and Lily.
I did something this morning that I never do. I looked in the mirror and said, Paul, you are doing great. Out loud. To myself.
Welcome, everyone, to A Cup of English podcast. I'm Lily.
And I'm Paul. And Lily just asked me how I was this morning. And I said, actually, fantastic. And she looked genuinely confused.
Because you never say fantastic. You usually say not bad, or getting there, or surviving.
British people don't say fantastic. We say not bad. And we mean everything is wonderful. It is a cultural thing.
Today we are talking about self-love, how to love yourself, how to talk about it in English, and why it is so important. Simple vocabulary, perfect for beginners. Let's go!
Right. So, what is self-love? Self-love means taking care of yourself, respecting yourself, being kind to yourself, the same way you are kind to your friends.
And this is harder than it sounds. Most people are much nicer to their friends than to themselves. If your friend makes a mistake, you say, "Don't worry, it happens." But if you make a mistake, you say, "I am so stupid. I can't believe I did that."
Absolutely true. I would never speak to a friend the way I sometimes speak to myself.
Exactly. So the first phrase, be kind to yourself. Simple, important, powerful. Don't be so hard on yourself. Be kind to yourself.
And to be hard on yourself, this means to criticize yourself too much, to be too strict with yourself. I made one mistake and I was so hard on myself about it.
I have a story about this. A few years ago, I was learning to drive in London. Yes, on the left side of the road, which, for an American, is completely terrifying.
Very brave of you.
Very brave and very stupid simultaneously. So I had a driving lesson, and at one point, I went the wrong way around a roundabout.
The wrong way around a roundabout?
The wrong way! My instructor grabbed the wheel, very calmly, corrected the car, and said, "Not to worry, happens to everyone." And I sat there for the next 10 minutes saying to myself, "You are so stupid. You could have crashed. You are terrible at this."
And what did the instructor say?
He pulled over and said, "Lily, stop. You made one mistake. I have had students drive into walls, into other cars, into a supermarket."
Into a supermarket?
Into a supermarket. One mistake on a roundabout is nothing. Be kind to yourself. And I thought, this driving instructor just gave me the best life advice I have ever received.
Driving lessons in philosophy. Very efficient use of time.
He was a very wise man. Okay, more vocabulary. Self-confidence, believing in yourself, feeling good about your abilities. Learning English builds your self-confidence. Self-care, taking care of your physical and mental health, things that make you feel good. Reading before bed is my self-care. And to accept yourself, to be okay with who you are, including your mistakes and imperfections. Learning to accept yourself is so important.
Imperfections is a key word here. Nobody is perfect, and trying to be perfect makes you miserable.
100%! I spent years trying to be perfect at everything. Perfect at work, perfect with friends, perfect appearance, and I was exhausted all the time.
What changed?
I had a conversation with my grandmother. She is 82 years old. She has lived an incredible life. And I asked her, "What is the one thing you know now that you wish you knew when you were young?" And she said, without thinking, immediately, "I wish I had worried less about what other people thought of me."
That is very wise.
She said, "I spent 30 years trying to make everyone happy. And at the end, you realize the only person you live with every single day, every single hour is yourself. So you better like that person.
The only person you live with every single day is yourself. That is a really powerful thought.
I wrote it in my notebook, and I still read it when I have a bad day.
Right. I have a self-love story, and it is embarrassing, but also, I think, important.
Tell us.
So, I used to have a habit. Every time I finished a piece of work, an episode, a project, anything, instead of feeling good about it, I would immediately find 10 things wrong with it.
I do this too.
Everyone does this. You work hard on something, you finish it, and instead of thinking, well done, that was good, you think, the third paragraph was weak and the ending wasn't right, and I should have done this differently.
Exactly. You never enjoy the moment.
So a colleague of mine, lovely woman, very no-nonsense, she noticed I was doing this after we finished a big project together. And she said, Paul, before you say anything negative, name 3 things that were good about this.
Oh, I love that.
And I tried to find the 3 things, and it was hard. It was actually difficult to say positive things about my own work, which is, when you think about it, quite sad.
Because you can see everyone else's good work immediately, but not your own.
Exactly. And she made me do this every single time after that. 3 good things first. Then, if I wanted, 1 thing to improve next time. Just 1, not 10. 1.
That is such a good system.
And slowly, over weeks, I started to actually feel good about the work I did. Not perfect, just good, which is enough.
Good is enough. That should be on a poster.
Next to let the sock go and the second sandwich is the victory.
Our podcast is basically a motivational poster collection at this point. Okay, vocabulary. To celebrate your wins. To recognize and feel happy about the good things you do, big or small. I finished a difficult task today. I'm celebrating that win. Progress. Moving forward, getting better slowly. Learning English is about progress, not perfection. And you are enough. 3 very simple and very powerful words. You don't need to be more, do more, have more. Right now, as you are enough.
You are enough. Say that to yourself today. Seriously.
And one more. To treat yourself. To do something nice for yourself. To give yourself a small gift or pleasure. I worked really hard this week, so I'm going to treat myself to a nice dinner. Treating yourself is part of self-love.
I treated myself last week to a very expensive tea, a special Japanese green tea. I sat down, made it very carefully, and drank it slowly with no phone, no distractions.
That sounds wonderful.
It was 15 minutes of complete peace, and I felt genuinely happy afterwards. Not because the tea was magic, but because I said to myself, you deserve 15 minutes of something nice.
And you do deserve it. Everyone deserves it. This is the whole point. You don't need to earn the right to be kind to yourself. You already deserve it. Just by being a person who is trying their best.
Trying your best. Also a great phrase. To try your best means to make your maximum effort, even if the result is not perfect. I tried my best, and that is what matters.
Your challenge for today, and this is a serious one. Say one nice thing to yourself today, out loud, in English. Just one thing. I am doing well. I am learning every day. I am trying my best. Whatever feels true for you.
And write it in the comments if you want. We would genuinely love to read them. Sometimes saying something kind out loud, even to strangers on the internet, makes it feel more real.
And subscribe to A Cup of English podcast. Free, new episodes every week. We are so grateful for every single one of you listening right now.
Cheerio, everyone.
Bye, guys!